For most real-world applications, index creation and tuning is a significant part of the work. Let's take a look at how much you already know about how this works in Couchbase. Index creation in Couchbase is analogous to SQL Server. You create an index with a specified name on a specified bucket for a list of one or more fields to be indexed in that bucket. Once built, it speeds queries accessing those fields and is automatically maintained until removed, which can be done with a drop index statement specifying the bucket name and index name. Any number of filters can be added to an index to narrow the range of documents to be indexed. Naturally, these filters then become required for a query to use this index, because a filter narrows the range of documents indexed. However, the sequence of filters in the query does not matter, and when needed, the query planner will try to fall back on less precise indexes that apply, including a primary index, rather than allow a query to fail. To generate the plan document for any query, precede it with the explain keyword. The server will return information including whether it is relying on the primary index or on one or more specific indexes. It's also easy to visually display this information in the query workbench, with tools to change its display sequence and zoom level for easy reading. Like SQL Server, Couchbase can fall back on a full scan to support ad hoc queries, though our memory-first architecture requires that a primary index be created to support this ability. We also support secondary and composite indexing, both computed and expression indexes, as well as partial indexes. We also support range partitioned indexing with automatic hash partitioning. Because of our ability to handle multi-dimensional data within any record, we also support indexing arrays within documents, or on expressions, as well as indexing object and array combinations. Last, in terms of clustering, our indexes are non-clustered. Earlier, we noted that while SQL Server updates indexing with each operation, Couchbase indexes update asynchronously. For high mutation rate use cases where this could be an issue, the SDK lets you specify your desired consistency on a per-request basis. By default, queries are not bounded, and an index is used in its state as of the query time. Now, this is fastest, and also most likely to return stale results. So any given query can happen at plus, which is also termed read your own write. In this case, the index will be used in a particular state specified in a provided mutation token. It's a bit slower, but more accurate, right up to the mutation made by the current request. For the most current indexing, the request plus setting can be specified, again on a per request basis, which will ensure all pre-request mutations are complete and indexed before the current query runs. In this demo, we'll build a few indexes and explore query plans. This time we're using a dataset you'll find in our other online training courses called CouchMusic. It has about 200,000 documents, which is still microscopic by Couchbase terms, but a larger data set than the others we've worked with, so we can see a little bit of query impact time-wise. So if I go over to my query view, I've already run a query to select distinct types and count them, so that we can see in this bucket we've got country and playlist and subregion, track, and user profile documents. Now we're going to work with user profile documents in the query, but I want you to notice that we've got about 50,000, 49,981 of those, but we've got about 97,000 tracks and 65,000 playlists. So knowing how many documents of different types you have is useful as part of thinking through your query design. Now over here under indexes, you'll see that we've already got a primary index defined for CouchMusic. The impact of this is over here. In our query view, you'll see that CouchMusic is fully queryable off the primary index. Now let's take a quick look at a user profile document. If I go over to my documents view, we'll see that I put a filter for user profile type documents out of CouchMusic into the where clause. I'll bring up one of these documents and you'll see there's a lot of different fields we could work with here. We have our type available. I'm going to want to pull back the email address and the favorite genres field from these documents, but I'm also going to filter by this value, a postal code nested within the address field. Over here in Query View, I've already got this query built to save some typing. I'll pull it up from my history, close and run this again. And you'll see that we're filtering by both user profile and by postal code and then bringing back those two fields. We get a total of 2 documents back. The contents aren't particularly interesting. What I notice is it took over 8 seconds to run that query, because if I go over to my plan document, you'll see that we're relying specifically on the primary index and nothing else. Not very efficient. But hey, I'm filtering by document type. Why don't I create a more specific index based on that? I'll go to my history, and I've got this definition here which I can close and run to create an index named def type on our Couch Music bucket, indexing all of the type fields. So now if I go back to my JSON view and go back into my history and run that same query again, we'll see that we get better performance. We've gone from a bit over 8 seconds down to 1.92 seconds. So let's see what else we could do. We're also filtering by postal code. So let me go into my history and see, well, there we have it. I've also got an index definition to index all of our postal code fields. I'll go ahead and run that. And once that index has been built, I'll go back into my history again, pull up my query again, run it again, and hey, now we get 3-point-something milliseconds. I mean, that's so fast I could hit execute a few times here to get a sense of my average execution time. Now what's happened here if I go over to my plan? Well, I'll zoom up a bit here so we can see it more easily. We'll see that we've actually got 2 index scans going on, both using the def type and the def postal code, and then grabbing the intersection of those in order to come up and fetch with the document set to filter and then project and stream out. So that's one way we could go about it. We have 2 distinct but relevant indexes being intersected. But we can go about this a different way, because you can, as you see here, build indexes based on multiple fields. And I know that I'm relying on both my type and my postal code. I could create an index specific to those 2. And if I go back over here to my JSON with that index built, and go back to my query and run it again, we get comparable performance, about 3 milliseconds. Run it a few times, get a sense of my averages. But the plan is different now. If I go over here, we'll see that it's relying just on that single index. It no longer has to use 2 indexes and intersect them because there's a more precise index. Well, I could potentially go about this even a third way, because while yes, I need a postal code index, maybe I know that the only document type that I have that has a postal code is a user profile. I could build my indexing a different way. Here, with this index, I'm indexing postal codes, but only for documents where type is user profile. And this is going to set the index up differently. Now, because of the way the query planner goes in and looks at things, this index, def user profile postal code, and the def type postal code are very similar. I don't need def type postal code. I'm going to go ahead and drop it here. I want the query planner to pick up user profile postal code, and while there is syntax to point to a specific index to use for a query, I don't want to get into that for this quick demo. So I'll go back here, and I'm going to run my query one more time. I get my same documents back, and my execution time is comparable, but now I'm relying on this index, which indexes only postal codes where the document type is user profile. So that might result in a different index size relative to the other approach. Now, all of these factors, what is the shape of your documents? How reusable do you need your indexes to be? How many different query types may be going up against this system? How do you want to specify particular indexes? There's many factors beyond the scope of this short demo. If you go out and Google Couchbase index tuning, you'll find a lot of great information in our documentations, blog articles, and similar information online. But I hope that this has informed a bit some of the choices that you'll make with your own indexing ahead. So what have we learned? The Query Planner seeks to use the most precise index available. Numerous types can be built, including primary, secondary, and composite indexes, function or expression indexes, partial or range partitioned indexes, and for multidimensional data within records, array, array on expression, and object array indexes. Couchbase indexes update asynchronously, and so the SDK allows query read consistency to be specified on a per operation basis, whether not bounded, at plus for read your own write behavior, or request plus to allow all outstanding mutations as of the query timestamp to complete before a query runs. And we saw that it's easy to generate and visualize the plan for each query. In the next lesson, we'll dive further into NQL to introduce aggregation, ordering, paging, and joins. Come on back.